Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Badgers Heavy Hitters. I'd like to thank you for tuning in. Man, you guys, if you had known what a trying week it had been for me, like I could barely remember my own name. I tried to turn myself in 3 times this week. Speaking of turning ourselves in, we have a guest today who didn't quite get the opportunity of turning himself in. He happened to get himself busted. You know what I mean? It's funny looking at you right now. I see a mirror of me when I was a pup going inside, bro. Like I couldn't grow a mustache. You know what I mean? I had the little cheeks still going. Seriously, bro, like I'm looking in a mirror of fucking back when I was 17. And when you just told me your age right now, that threw me for a fucking loop, man. Like it just told me that I'm fucking old as dust. You know what I mean? So, why don't you introduce yourself real quick?
Well, my name is Tyler from Chain Gang News. Basically, I'm from Washington. I got caught up in some shit a few times up here.
So Tyler, they also have another handle for you, right? You got a handle inside?
I also sometimes go by Q-Tip.
Is that because you shoot a lot of dope or what?
No. Well, I'm not sure actually.
You don't know how you got it, huh?
I really don't remember where it came from, but I don't think that was the reason behind it. No.
Right. So
I did. I mean, I have done my fair share of shit, but I don't think that.
Go ahead, tell them how old you are.
I'm actually 29.
29 in a day or 29 in a couple of weeks.
I'm almost 30, bro. On April 28th. I'm gonna be 30.
Oh, that's right. I remember that's one of the reasons why I went ahead and took your channel a little early, because my son's birthday is fucking the day after yours. Yeah, I mean he's oh my God, I'm old. So you're up in Washington where it's rainy weather. There's a lot of tweakers up there with there's a lot of drugs up there. There's a lot of criminal activity up there, as I recall. You know what I mean? What do you have? You have WSP, Washington State Prison. Is that what they call it? WSP. I know Oregon is OSP.
Yeah, WSP. Yeah, Washington State Prison. Yeah. They got Walla Walla and Monroe, which are WSPs, and then they got WSP lower.
Stands for white sweet pussy, but it's all good.
Yeah. So. Some people think it stands for, anyways.
Yeah.
So you want, basically, man, I've been
you grew up at home, you know what I mean? Like fucking, you grew up, mom and dad, you grew up, I mean, you look like the all-American kid. I'm just saying how, appearances are fucking not always what they appear. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I grew up real poor. At the age of about 15, me and a buddy of mine, we decided to head out on our own, because shit wasn't working out at home. And we got into selling drugs. We actually met a guy from California, and he had really good deals on, Oxycontins back in the day, the old school ones.
You went straight to the fucking good stuff, huh? No weed. No, you skipped all the weed and all that shit and went straight to the opiates.
Yeah. Now, see, while we were selling the oxys and shit, we were just making a lot of money. And then, I started. I went to heroin. I shot heroin for the first time with a friend, and a girl. Yeah. Surprise. And when the oxys washed away,
you became your own best customer.
No, actually not. My buddy who I was partners with, he didn't want to go into the other business. He thought it was dirty and gross, and into
the heroin business.
He only wanted to stick to pills, and so I went over to that. And I also started growing weed, and I had a lot of stuff going on.
It's so funny how people fucking misconstrue like the housewife that takes pills and goes doctor shopping versus the Tyler that's picking up at the park fucking I mean, like the Badger picking up at the park or whatever the case is. You know what I mean? Like they really think that they're better than the next. I mean, let me assure you, as you well know, the body knows the drug as a drug as a drug as a drug. You know what I mean? It doesn't decipher shit, especially when it comes to detoxing. Especially when it comes to fucking how am I going to get means and ways to get more? You know what I mean?
And it all hits the same receptors, you know?
For sure. So, you started getting into a little bullshit, and I'm sorry, you guys. Please note that for Tyler and I both, it's late. You know what I mean? He's been out cruising around taking care of shit, and I've been taking care of trying to get these shirts, limited edition shirts, going on for the meet and greet that we're having here in California on February 15th. So, like, it's been stressful all the way across. We've been trying to hook up for how many days now?
Oh, at least about a week. Yeah, about a week. Yeah.
Back and forth. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, they really do think that there is a difference. You know what I mean? And I guess people buy into that, and to some degree there is. You know what I mean? Like the heroin addict that is shooting in a spoon will go a little farther than Mrs. Smith, who's doctor shopping to get hers, but. She's known to jump in the back seat of a car and do what she's got to do with the connection too that sells opiates, I'm sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway,
I've seen it
for me. You know what I mean? And when just as you're about to enter prison, we're gonna stop and discuss some other things. You know what I mean? Just lay it out how the good shit. How fun it was and how much pussy you were getting.
Oh yeah, man. All the money and the different places I could go at night, and the women, man, everything that came with it, man, it was awesome. But
where to go?
But in the end, it wasn't worth it. But let me get to why it wasn't worth it. So I had this grow house. All right. So basically, I had a grow house in Everett, and it was I hired. So my buddy had a birthday party, right? And it was supposed to be like this 3-day birthday bash, and everybody was coming out, and I bought a bunch of booze, and I had a bunch of weed, and I had a bunch of other stuff to make sure I was okay for the 3 days or whatever. Well, I hired this guy to water my plants and take care of it. So, so the first day he answers, and he says everything's going good. Well, later that night, I called him. This is still the first day. He doesn't answer. Well, the next morning, I wake up around 11:30, call him, doesn't answer. Around 3 o'clock, I call, he doesn't answer. So we go back to town. Now, mind you, I'm about 30 miles north, up in the boonies, at my buddy's property, partying, and
put that together. You know what I mean? Like I know nothing about your story, but I already seen that shit coming. Yeah.
So basically, this guy, he I can see that you could see because the dude lived right in the neighborhood, and you could see weed leaves and dirt leading to his house and shit from where so his house, how it's set up, right, is it's a house that was turned into apartment complexes. So each room's an apartment complex. It has like a bathroom and a different room and a living room and stuff. But there's still a main front door that's locked, and only the tenants have keys. Okay. So, I actually happened to know serve a dude that was on the first floor, and I knew that was a way to get me in because this weed house, I was partnered with someone. Okay, so this wasn't just my shot. I was kind of like I didn't really know what to do. I was young. Yeah, I really did want retaliation, but he was the one that was like, "This is what's happening, and that's it. These guys are doing it. Just get them in the house. That's it." So,
you lost me. So you got to cry me in this, right? You have a partner in the business, and he says, "Just get me in the fucking house."
No, he says he's not going. He hired these people to go.
How sweet that was.
So we get there, and there's one guy's drunk, and so I get the door unlocked, and they go up there. They're doing their thing, and they beat the fuck out of the guy. They hurt the guy really bad, and they took all of his stuff. My stuff, and I guess allegedly they grabbed a couple things of his too.
These are your guys. These are your guys doing this.
Yeah, and so now,
right now.
Now remember, Badger. I'm the only one that went to prison on this charge. I went. No, really. I went everybody up. So my code D, he ended up going to prison later on. He's actually about to get out pretty soon. Shout out to him. But you know, he'll probably watch this when he gets out and remember that. But the one guy I knew real well, but the guy that was drunk, I didn't know him, man. And yeah, so when they're running at, what's that?
Did he decide to rob you too?
No. So when he's running out of the house, he starts, the owner of the house comes out with a German Shepherd and it's telling him to attack. And the dog starts biting him, and he's stumbling down the stairs, and the other guy's like, fuck him. And he turns the car on and he starts leaving him. And I'm like, oh shit. And then we turn around the corner and we see him running towards us. And I'm like, fucking stop, bro. We can't leave him here. We can't leave him here, you know? He knows our names and shit. And so he gets in the car, the dog's still biting at him and shit. And I'm trying to fucking push the dog away and shit. And he's biting at me and shit. And fucking because everything's covered up, we got everything covered up and shit. And
don't tell me you hurt the dog, bro.
Yeah, the guy was just an idiot. So anyways, the owner of the house he's out in the middle of the street and he's pointing at the car. He's like, I got you guys. Well, this car was an old junker. So the next morning we took it to the scrap yard, scrapped it.
Crunched it.
And so there's no, they couldn't, and the license plates on it weren't the real plates, so it just came up as someone else's vehicle, And so anyways, so I go so basically I get a call from detectives. He calls the police and tells them, hey, someone robbed me and beat the shit out of me. I need to go to the hospital, and I know who did it. I read the whole statement and everything that he wrote against me. He said that he told him the whole story, that he had robbed me first, and then that I came back and robbed him. And these motherfuckers put a warrant out for me, man. It was the craziest shit I ever heard. I was like, what is this? Great. And so anyways, so yeah,
this
man.
Story you can't make shit like this up, bro. You just can't make shit like this up.
Well, so I'm at my grandparents' house, right? And my dad's over there. He's helping him out with something. And I'm sitting in the living room. My grandpa's an ex-sheriff, too. And we're sitting in the living room, and we're watching Washington's Most Wanted.
And there you are.
I had been on the run for about 2 months. They hadn't gotten my grandparents' address yet. And my face pops up. And, it says wanted for first-degree robbery, armed and dangerous, may be in these areas, whatnot. And I shit you not, man. I think, it was either the next day or 2 days later, they found they got that address, and they started hitting it, going there every day. They went to every spot that I frequented. They actually shut down 4 blocks of Broadway when they caught me, because they blocked me in, man. They got me on Christmas Eve of 2010. Okay. So I went in, and I was in the last interview I did. I said I was in the county jail till March. It was not March. I was in there till May. I went, and then May 2011 when I went off to prison. I took my plea deal, went off to the joint, and landed where I landed. As I told you,
you could say that. I just don't want you saying like, me and Billy Bob Thornton went over and stabbed homeboy. I don't want.
Like I told you, man, it really went too.
I'm trying to find a newspaper article that you sent me so I can read it to the crowd. Is all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah.
That's
not that one. That's another one that's coming up.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. That happened after I got out. So I touched down in. So I touched down in Monroe Medium. Like I told you, man. Prison. I didn't really get in too dirty. I got in a few fights, whatnot. Most of the part, it was pretty easy. I was able to make it. I made it to camp, and then I got shipped back to Medium right at the end of my sentence, and then got released.
When you say camp, like a CCF, like community correctional facility, or what do you mean by a camp?
Here is called community custody.
Okay.
And so I turned 18 months of community custody into about 6 years, because I kept going on the run, absconding. In Washington State, they have a rule where it's called Swift Insert, where you only get a max of 30 days per DOC violation, and DOC is our parole, you know.
Why wouldn't you, right?
So motherfuckers are running amok. They're going to other states, right. And they're, you know, one dude got caught in Florida, and they extradited him all the way back to Washington to give him 30 days. By the time he got to Washington, he had been in transport for 30 days, and they released him right when he got to Washington.
They owed him 4 days. Shit, huh?
Yeah, that's all he got was a free ride home, and it cost them thousands and thousands of dollars, you know. But so anyways, you know, so the prison story, the one prison story we were gonna save for later. Yeah. But so I get released, right? I get released in 2012, late 2012, and I'm out, and then you know, I'm on community custody. I meet up with a buddy of mine, and he was actually someone that I had been in trouble with as a youth. I'd known him for a long time, and me and him started hustling together, and we started doing real good, and so basically,
look, I just want to, because we're all over the place right now. You're a little nervous. We're bouncing around a little bit, so I just want the whole layout. So I'm gonna lay it out for you, if that's okay, if you don't mind. So basically, you had a little fucking high school fucking whatever weed growing thing going that or whatever that turned into, you know, selling oxys, making money. You're having the time of your life. You know, I mean, somebody sees an opportunity, you know, I mean, sees your cute little cheeks there and says, fucking, I'm gonna get dude, right? Basically, I'm not being disrespectful either.
No, that did happen. That did happen.
That's what.
And believe it was on site when it did.
Yeah, they thought that about me a few times too. So
yeah, you know, it was
lay it out for them.
No, man, it was tough being baby faced in there. I'm not gonna lie, man. Yeah, there was a lot of people trying that, but you know, like I said, you know, I'd probably say maybe 6 or 7 fights, and probably 4 of those fights were people, you know, like making just. It might not even been what I thought it was.
Yeah, smart ass.
It was just something that I didn't want it to be what it could have been, you know.
Yeah, but it's got to be this. Yeah, I get it, bro. Like, trust me. I'm just laying it out for them because we're bouncing around a little bit. You're pulled over on the side of the road. It's midnight. So I'm just laying it out for them a little bit. You know what I mean? Because we are bouncing around a little bit. So
yeah,
homeboy decides to rob you. You know where he lives. You got fucking puzzle pieces all the way to his house.
Mm-hmm.
Your boy fucking bows down and sends you with his crew that he's paying for to fucking get your shit back, your guys' shit back.
Well, ours, yeah.
Right. So it turns into a little bit more than you wanted it to, but not quite as much as you wanted it to either. You know what I mean? So, Grandpa's a retired sheriff. You're at his house. Grandpa never thought of turning you in or never asked you to turn in?
Nope, neither did my grandma.
Respect, Grandma, Grandpa, and respect, you know.
And they never gave me in, neither did my dad, neither did my mom, neither did my sister. None of my family ever gave me in.
Right.
I think it was I think how they got the tip was because they were putting me in the paper so often and on that fucking website and on the news and shit. So I think it was just a random caller spotted me because I was actually out in the streets, you know.
More than likely, you know. Yeah, you're still thinking it's cool to be free and shit, you know what I mean? But you know, let me ask you this: what was your official charge?
It was first degree robbery. It mended down to second degree robbery. I had a prior. Time? What's that?
How much time did they give you?
I did 31 months.
Okay.
31 months. I also got hit with intimidating a witness.
It's called badgering a witness.
Yeah, badgering a witness. Yeah. Badgering a witness. Yeah, I also got badgering a witness, and I also got an assault charge for a jail I got in a fight in the county. Some dude stole some of my commissary, and I slapped him, and he fucking told on me.
Like that?
So, I mean, What's that?
Like that?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Some of the people up here, they're not. The
They got
county
like
jails up here definitely aren't like
up
Cali.
there, right? You could
What's
get
that?
busted on Friday. They got like a catch and release program up there, right? Like you can get busted on Friday and be out by Sunday and be busted again by Monday morning, right?
Oh, I've been in that jail where I see people, I mean, come in twice a week, weekly. Boom, 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 boom. Because now they got a law in Seattle and Snohomish County. So King and Snohomish County, if you get caught with 3 grams or less meth or heroin or whatever, they just give you a citation. They don't even take you to jail anymore.
So that's how it is out here in California now. Not that I'm trying to find out. Trust me, and that's not the game I'm trying to be in, because you and I both know that a motherfucking tweaker will tell on you over a parking ticket that ain't even his. You know what I mean? And
yeah, absolutely right, they will.
A heroin addict, they won't tell because they want their connection to be available when they get out. You know what I mean? Like, sort of how it is, you know. So you go do your little time, you know what I mean? You come out, you got away with a little incident here, a little incident there, which is cool. You know what I mean? Like you got a date, you're shooting for that. They gave you 31 months. Is that what you said?
Yeah, I did about it after. So they sentenced me to 31 months. So I did a year, not 9 months. So, you know, I went in.
So you know all that time, all that shit that you did right there would have bought you a life sentence in California, right?
Yeah, I know. Washington's really lenient.
Home invasion is automatic life.
Laws.
Home invasion is automatic life. You know what I mean? Like just like a carjacking is automatic. You know, the feds did a life sentence in California. So like you got love. You know what I mean? Like, you got real love, and you didn't learn your lesson.
No.
You came out. Well, you got no skill set.
I got out.
You got out. You didn't have any skill set. You knew how to sell dope, and that was that. You know what I mean? Like fucking. What do I do from here? You know what I mean? You didn't take advantage of anything that WSP had to offer, or do they have anything to offer?
They did. They see. Well, when I was in there in 2011, and you know, the majority of 2012, not all of 2012, but majority of it. You know, they had just had an officer killed at one of the prisons that I was at. Right, like literally like 2 months before I went there. So shit was on strict movement. A lot of classes had got shut down, and it took years for them to. So by the time I got out, you know, they were just starting to get classes back on and stuff. So I kind of got screwed on that, you know. When I transferred, what's that?
What do they offer, like welding and you know, I mean, shit like that?
Oh, they got all types of shit, man. You can do whatever you want up here, yeah.
That's
they got all types of stuff.
You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, you would have sat in our county jail longer than that, fighting that case, fucking trying to get some kind of deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I pled out because the only offer is to talk, and I wasn't going to do that, so I just took the deal. You know, it was that was the two options: was take the deal or talk, and so I just took the deal. You know,
take the deal or talk. So what did the max carry on that sentence up there?
Oh man, if they wouldn't have dropped it to the Rob 2 with the prior point and the other enhancements and shit, oh man, I probably would have done at least probably, I'm guessing probably 10. I think I don't know. I mean,
that makes sense. Yeah.
I can tell you, you know, when I tell the next story of the second robbery, or alleged robbery, it wasn't a robbery, but they I'll tell you what they came and offered me at that time, right. And that was for you know, looking at a second one. So let's jump into that one real quick. Is that all right?
Okay. Well, yeah.